Welcome and thank you for joining the Live in Divine Harmony podcast. I'm Carmen, your divine synergist of Heart's Joy. I'm an awakened person of purpose, a spiritual life coach. I have a passion for life. I'm an author, a podcast host, and a numerologist. And today, this week's discussion on the podcast is, you guessed it, the 2023 numerology and energy update. I wonder what gave it away. All right, who is ready to do a deep dive into what to expect for 2023? So let's do a quick recap first. 2022 was about relationships and authenticity. Your relationships changed, and especially the relationship with yourself changed. You were called to heal, and if you hadn't started yet, that was your time to heal. And for those of you who've been along the healing journey for a while, you just simply uncovered deeper layers. All right. So 2023 is what I'm calling a bridge year. It's a bridge year between what we started in 2020 to get us to where we are going. Why? Because a lot of people finally started their healing journey in 2022. That was a part of the purpose in 2022. The relationship with yourself, which seems to be the relationship that we don't talk a lot about. We like to talk about all the other types of relationships and hyper focus on those. And so 2022 was the time for you to focus on the relationship with yourself. Now, I believe that we're being called to a higher vibration individually, which will impact the collective as well. So 2023 is a 7 energy. And whatever was hidden from us is now coming to the light. It's now coming to the surface. And this is going to be in every area. It's going to be in your personal life, professional life, any of your other relationships that you have. It will be in the political arena. It will be everywhere. This could be a secret that comes out. This could be something that was deep down in your subconscious mind that you didn't even realize was there, that is now coming up for your subconscious to heal. And you are not going to be able to run from whatever it is that's coming to light. Now, if you try, things will be just as bad for you, if not worse. You will be tested with the information that does come to light. Why? Because you're going to see and hear information that contradicts what you once thought you already knew. It's the enemy's way of thinking that you're crazy, right? Of trying to throw you off track. So it's going to try to kick you off your solid foundation that you've worked so hard to create. This is why listening to your intuition and having a spiritual practice is so important. I've talked a lot about this already. It's almost like you've had time to build up that spiritual practice to create it. And so now you get to utilize it in 2023. The 7 energy of this year is also a very contemplative energy, analytical, going within, resting. You may finally take that class or write that book. This is going to be a year for inner growth, but a different type of inner growth because it's a very spiritual year as well. It's going to be a year where you may have another spiritual awakening because remember, everything happens in layers. When your soul is ready to hear it, that's when the lesson comes in. This is about your relationship with yourself that leads to the relationship with God, with Jesus. So many of us continue to seek for answers outside of ourselves, and seeking for help from people such as myself is great because we empower you to go within and discover the answers. When you start to seek it from other people who you just want them to give you the answers, that's completely different. And that's what you're going to experience this to a whole new level over 2023 is that you're going to start to discover the answers that you had within yourself. It could be new gifts. I don't want to say new gifts that were hidden for quite some time that you didn't even know or were aware that they were there. And of course, it's going to feel uncomfortable because you're doing something that you've not done yet before. This is all brand new. You're totally stretching outside your comfort zone. And by the way, it's not about accepting the shadow self or integrating the shadow self. It's truly about healing the shadow self. It's about you doing your healing. So the question is, how confident are you in your relationship with God? How angry are you with God? Are you angry at God? Are you frustrated with God? Or are you going through the motions each day or week thinking you have a relationship with God when you really don't in reality? That's what I probably see the most of, is the people who think that they have this relationship. And then when we start working together, they realize, whoa, I don't have that. Or I thought I trusted myself and I really didn't. I was relying too much on other sources, other people to do XYZ to give me the information to validate me. And so then the next question is, do you trust yourself? Do you trust your intuition? When you don't, you're essentially saying that you know more than God. You're not trusting God. In fact, I never say trust the process. I used to until I realized what that was. Because it's not about the process. It's about trusting yourself. Are you confident in your decisions? And that's one of the mantras that I started to say halfway through 2022, and I still say to this day, is I am confident in my decisions. I am confident in my decisions. And when you do that and start to exude that confidence, that shifts the outcome. In 2023, you're going to start to ask, who am I? Who am I really? It's going to be a time of going within and recognizing and accepting who you are past this human. Understanding you are not your job. You are not your business. You are not your career. You are not your family. Those are all ego identities. Can you sink into your beingness? Who you really are? Can you sink into the divine feminine energy? I'm talking about energy. Can you sink into that, the power of the divine feminine energy? And how do you create from this way of being? Because there's a different way that you create from a masculine energy versus the divine energy. How do you create from this way of being? Find a daily stillness to connect with yourself, to connect with God, to connect with Jesus. And yes, I said daily. This is a new focus for me personally. And if you're saying, yeah, just I'm good, I might have on my Sundays to myself, or if you're one that never has any time to yourself and doesn't have any daily stillness, you may find this hard. A lot of you love that word challenging. You may find it challenging. And if you don't see how it's possible, ask how you can create these possibilities. Allow the way to be shown to you. Daily connection with yourself, with God, with divine creator. That's going to be a really prominent key because this year's going to be really crazy. We thought 2022 was a roller coaster. It's going to be another crazy year. We're being called to step into this divine feminine energy for multiple reasons. Now, if you would like to continue to connect with me throughout this year, you can always join the free online community, hearts-joy.mn.co. You can also reach out to me as well. And by the way, in this community, it's called Creating a Life You Love Community. We're going to talk about purpose. We're going to continue to talk about mindset, and we're going to continue to talk about creation, co-creation, and intentions. Again, that link is hearts-joy.mn for mightynetworks.co. Everything is done virtual. And it's beautiful because you get to not only connect with myself, you get to connect with all the other beautiful beings in there as well. That's where you're going to find a lot of the content instead of not as much as online on social media. Okay. So let me know what questions you have from this week's podcast of what to expect in 2023 with the numerology energy update. And remember that this is a collective energy that I'm referring to. You still have your energy that you're bringing in from your personal year, and your personal year goes birthday to birthday. So always keep that in mind as well. All right. Until next time, sending you much love. I'll see you soon.